friends, and welcome back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda.
And I am Rochelle.
And we're just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and wine. So if that is something that interests you, please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And now it's time for movie news, reviews, and pulp culture discussion. NBC has ordered a sliding doors type drama called Ordinary Joe. It's going to star James Wolk. He will play a rock singer, a nurse, and a cop. So, for those who may have not ever seen this, and this was like we talked about this back in our very first episode, I want to say, of our podcast with our special guest Linda. So, Sliding Doors was a movie with Gwyneth Paltrow, where what it basically was is she one day gets on the train, but then at the same time she also misses the train. That way you can see what would have happened with her two lives, depending on what happened, depending on what she had decided to do. So it was a very good show. So basically, this one though is going to take 3 different diversions instead of just 2.
Wow! Ooh, I'm looking forward to that because I really did like that show. So hopefully, this one will be good.
Yeah, it sounds like it'll be really good. Also, CSI Vegas has been greenlit for a fall debut. So this is a continuation of the original CSI, which was just called CSI. But it's going to have the stars William Peterson, Georgia Fox, and Wallace Langham, who will all return.
Yay! And for those of you who don't know who William Peterson is, he was the very first one, and he's the best. Okay, continue.
Yeah, that is true. So they're going to be joined with by some newbies that have been cast, who I think are actually new to acting in general. So that'll be interesting. It's too bad. Hopefully they'll maybe get some other stars from the original to pop in eventually. Like
that would be awesome.
Mark Hellenberger or George Eads. So that would be cool.
Yeah, because I can't see it without those two. I mean, it was just, they're part of the original. So I wonder what the dealio is.
Right.
But when we talk about this, I'm going to wear my CSI sweatshirt. I have one, that's just like, I have so much CSI stuff. Well, I have my, my little shot glass. I have a T-shirt and a sweatshirt. I mean, I'm, CSI'd out.
I do have a T-shirt. I had a sweatshirt, but I think I did wear it to death, so I think it got thrown out. But
oh, shoot.
But I can wear my T-shirt as well. So Netflix is nearing a deal to purchase the rights to 2 Knives Out sequels for $450 million. This will feature returning star Daniel Craig, best known as James Bond, for those who aren't aware.
Sequels, huh?
Yeah, and they'll be, like I said, direct to Netflix. So this sounds intriguing. So he'll just return as the detective as he was in the first one. So everyone else will be new. It's just kind of like the Hercule Poirot. Played by Kenneth Branagh in those movies, it was Murder on the Orient Express, and the soon-to-be Death on the Nile. So it'll just be his detective going from place to place. So I think that'll probably be cool.
Yeah,
he was really good in that, playing against type in this little.
Yes, it
role.
Was. Yes, that was actually a pretty funny show.
Yeah, it was. Anthony Ramos is in negotiation to star as the lead in the next Transformers movie, which I can't believe they're going to make another. I guess I should believe it, but at the same time I can't. There's been so many. You think, like, we're done.
Well, you have new generations popping up that probably would love Transformers, so.
Right. And Anthony Ramos, for those who don't know, he was in the original Broadway production of Hamilton, so you would have seen him on the Disney Plus airing of that. He's also in the upcoming In the Heights movie that's coming out that we will be seeing when it comes out in June.
Well, that's good to know. Okay.
Yeah, so look forward to that. So Reggie Jean Page, who starred as the Duke of Hastings in Bridgerton, will not be returning for season 2.
What?
This, I noticed, was just the biggest hoopla on social media that he's not coming back. But you have to remember, it's based on books, and each book focused on a different
character.
Bridgerton sibling. So, he got married at the end. Sorry, spoiler alert for those who haven't watched it yet. Anyway, he got married and he was fulfilled in the end with his wife, and he had a kid. And so I guess what I've heard is that his character appears for like 2 scenes in the book sequel. So it's easily not to even.
So maybe he kind of closes out his character.
Right. And so Phoebe, who played his wife, she is coming back, so she'll have scenes with her siblings. But he will not. I was told, I guess he was asked to come back, but he chose not to worry about doing it for 2 whole scenes. So he decided just to bow out completely. So I think it'll be okay. He was really good in it, but I'm so interested to see where this goes, because I I liked the brother who the next season is focusing on. So let's just see what happens before we just throw it out and cancel it right out the window. Give it a chance, people.
Right.
So Adam Wingard, who directed the recent Godzilla vs. Kong, will next tackle the live-action Thundercats movie.
Da, 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 da.
Which, as soon as I heard live action, I was like, why? One, because although I never saw it, and Rochelle did, are they going to look like the Cats movie people? Is it going to be CGI'd for how they look? Or are they going to wear costumes, which I'm not necessarily sure that will look great either. But maybe if they do like the Jim Henson thing where they do prosthetics, so at least it looks, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I think it would be great with the CGI or however they do it, but you know what? The storyline has got to be there. Mm-hmm. You know, I like seeing the movie Cats. Yes, it was pretty incredible. It had an all-star cast with a storyline. Oh,
so
I don't know.
So the storyline from the play then was, even though it ran for so long,
I know,
wasn't that good.
But it wasn't my favorite, musical play to be honest. But it just seemed like it was better watching the play than it was watching this movie. I don't know, because they added some stuff to it, but
True.
Yeah. Anyway,
I just can't imagine. And that was never an animated show I like to watch. Looking into it, apparently it was about a group of cat-like humanoid aliens from another planet who somehow end up on a third Earth. See, I never even knew that's what the plot of it was. I just remember watching it and thinking, this is weird. It just wasn't my, I preferred to watch the Care Bears and the Paw Paw Bears and the Smurfs. But hey.
Smurfs, there you go.
But the Thundercats, not so much. So we'll see what happens with this. If they could, I don't know. Except for me, yes, the story matters, but at the same time, it just cannot look stupid either. So, can't wait to see what happens with that.
Yes, and they'll probably do a good job, but who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not going to be staying up or waiting in line outside overnight to get tickets. So
exactly. So movies and TV shows out this week. We have Voyagers, which will be in theaters. It stars Colin Farrell, Lily Rose Depp, and Ty Sheridan. And then it's about a group of astronauts on a multi-generational mission that descends into paranoia and madness, and no one knows what is real or not. Mm-hmm. The trailer on that looked it looked weird. Yeah. So I'm on the fence. I'm not something I'll be rushing to see, so I can't wait to hear.
I feel like in the beginning of the trailer, it really caught me, and then it showed, the middle part of it where the kids are actually trying to figure out what's going on, and they have real emotions, and that was a little weird. So then it lost me at that point, but then it picked back up, and things start going haywire, and so then I was intrigued again. So I'm on the fence on this one. That's just my take.
Right. I guess I am curious to see how Lily Rose Depp does. She's, Johnny Depp's daughter, so this is her second.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Acting role. The first was in that movie Crisis that came out, I think, a week or two ago. So yeah, I'll be trying to see how she does with that. But also coming out is Them. This is a series on Amazon about a black family that moves from North Carolina to an all-white Los Angeles neighborhood in 1953. Where their idyllic home becomes ground zero for malevolent forces.
Well,
this
right
is very
away,
intriguing. It's very, it reminds me of Us, that movie that Jordan Peele did a couple years back.
I was actually pretty good.
So there is some, racist things that are happening too when I looked at the trailer, but then also, like I said, the malevolent forces, the supernatural is like thrown in there as well. So I guess maybe think more Lovecraft in that case.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess that did.
Yeah, it did. It had both.
It had all of those in there. So.
Yes. Yep.
Also, Thunder Force. This is a movie that is coming out on Netflix this week. It stars Octavia Spencer and Melissa McCarthy. And they are two childhood best friends who reunite as an unlikely crime-fighting superhero duo when one invents a formula that gives ordinary people superpowers.
So this looks so funny. But I'm worried that this is one of those where the funniest parts are in the trailer. Mm-hmm. And because I love both of them.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, and especially Octavia Spencer. But Melissa McCarthy, she's always pretty funny. But I really want to see it. I just don't want it to be, the funniest parts in the trailer.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out too. Maybe we'll both check it out over the, maybe.
Yeah.
And then, we can review it.
Yes.
Also, Rebel. This is the show on ABC that is inspired by Aaron Brockovich that we talked about a while back. But this is starring Katie Sagal and John Corbett, and it's just about a blue-collar legal advocate who cares about the causes she fights for and the people she loves. So I'll actually check this out too. 'Cause I think
I would like to see this because I'm a big Aaron Brockovich fan.
So, and I really like Katie Sagal. And John Corbett, I haven't seen him in a while. He was, Sex and the City's Aiden. That's his main claim to fame. But obviously he's done many other things. He was also in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So, yeah.
Which was a great show.
Right? I'm sure that'll be remade soon. I feel like that's probably been out long enough for someone to remake that since everything else is getting remade.
Exactly.
And then lastly, this week we have the TV show Kung Fu on the CW. Now, this is a remake from the 70s show Kung Fu that had Keith Carradine back, or was it Keith?
Yeah.
Keith Carradine on it back in the day. And it stars Olivia Liang from the TV show Legacies, and it's about a young Chinese-American woman who drops out of college and goes on a life-changing journey to an isolated monastery in China. When she returns to San Francisco, she finds her neighborhood overrun with crime, so she sets out to protect the community. So a different take on the whole thing. One, I think it's very cool that it is someone who is Chinese American, and two, that it's a woman this time around, and three, that it's set in San Francisco. Weirdly enough, during this time when unfortunately there's been so much crime out there against Asian Americans. So
yeah.
The timing on this is very timely.
Yes, very timely. Although I've never been a Kung Fu show fan, any of them. But yeah, I don't.
Yeah. I remember watching like maybe one or two on reruns. I think it was out a little bit because I was born in '78, so it was out a little before my time. But I remember not liking it that much from what I saw.
Yeah.
But yeah, this from what I saw is probably pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
good. So we'll have to check it out.
So what we've been watching this week, I watched the Justice League movie on HBO Max. So this was the Snyder take on it. For those who don't know the backstory, Joss Whedon originally took over for Snyder when he unfortunately had a death in his family. And so he ended up leaving the movie halfway through shooting it.
And who's Josh Snyder again?
So, no, it's Joss Whedon. He took over from Zack Snyder, who had started it. And so, because he unfortunately couldn't get to finish it, people had been rallying for apparently a few years since it came out. Like, we should get us the Snyder cut, because apparently Joss changed so much, supposedly from what Snyder's vision was. He did a lot of reshoots and then completely changed.
Really?
Yes. And so that happened. Now Justice League was 3 hours on HBO.
Oh, wow.
Or was it 4?
Seriously, 4?
I think it was 4.
Oh my!
I fast forward through some of the parts where I remember seeing it before, because I did end up watching the original probably like a couple weeks before this came out, just to remind myself what it was like. And for me, I did like Snyder's version better. One, because it expanded on some of the characters that were lacking, like Cyborg and Aquaman, who you honestly didn't see as much of in the first draft as you did in Snyder's version now. So that was good to get more of their backstory. Although you did get an Aquaman movie later, so then you did get more backstory. But this was cool because you got some earlier.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I liked it. There was some of the parts were unnecessary to expand on, but at least expanding on those characters to me made sense. So overall, I'd say I'd say the Joss version of Justice League, I would probably give it like 2.5 wine corks, but the newer version with Snyder's take on it, I would give 3.5 wine corks.
Oh, okay. So the newer one is better.
Yes.
In your opinion.
Better.
Okay.
Yes. I just didn't feel it. I mean, I feel like I kept hearing that, like, oh, this is so much was super changed. But to me, it wasn't that much that was super changed. It was just the character expansion was nice, and you got to see more scenes with, like, Martha Kent. So just small things like that. You got to see a little more post. What do they call those? The end clips at the end of the movie. Those were expanded, so they added Jared Leto in there as the Joker in a post.
Oh,
because he was never in there before. So that was interesting. And then you got to see the character of Deathstroke a little bit longer than you did the first time around, who was played by Joe Manganiello from True Blood fame. So that was cool.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
right? Yeah, I think you'd probably enjoy it. And then Who Killed Sarah on Netflix. I also started watching, so I'm about halfway through that now, but I still wanted to talk about it. So this was something I didn't realize was in Spanish.
It's on Netflix in Spanish. So you
so
need
I started
this.
and I was like, oh, so I went back to the settings to see if I could, and I was able to dub it because I am someone who prefers, if I can, to watch it dubbed. So, and I liked it. The base story was Sarah is killed in a boating accident, and the brother is blamed and sent to prison for a while. So when the first episode starts out, he's just getting out of prison after 30 years and vowing revenge on whoever he feels is responsible. So far it's just been really interesting. You get different points of view about Sarah herself. Like, so you have all these people now who really have motive to have wanted to hurt her.
Wow.
So, yeah.
It does. And it's funny because I almost watched that, and then of course I saw Something Shiny and didn't watch it. but just so y'all know too, Rhonda loves revenge flicks.
That I do.
And so if she says it's a good one, you should watch it because she's way up on that.
It is a good one. I will say they have some thrown in sex scenes that are necessary, but just get through that. They're pretty quick, honestly. But the rest of the story is fine. So I look forward to watching their other 5 because there's 10 episodes. But then I saw that they already have a season 2 coming out. I think it's the end of May or June. I'm like, huh? So that means I'm going to guess, just putting it out there in case it makes you not want to see it. There's probably no resolution to season 1 of who actually did it.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
season 2 coming out, so that's fine. I'll go with it. You know, when COVID first started last year, I ended up watching more like Spanish-based stuff than I even knew existed, which I guess is good on Netflix for buying those things out because I watched like Money Heist. That was in Spanish. I watched El Dragon, which was in Spanish.
Well, you think you would be good on Spanish. Why don't you just watch one?
Dark Desire, which was in Spanish. And they were all like, I was like so into it.
I think you should watch them. I think you should watch them in Spanish so that you can start speaking Spanish.
And one of them, the El Dragon, I actually did have to watch it. I had to watch subtitles. There was no dubbing available. But I was still into it. But sometimes it can be a little much to keep having to read for me. I know not everyone's like that, but I did watch that series.
Yeah, and sometimes you miss some of the movie, but yeah.
So, and that was a series, and it was like 3 seasons long, so it took me a bit. But that was when we were stuck in the house, so it was fine.
But, I watched Broadchurch that way. There's a show on Netflix, and I don't know how many people have watched it, but it's so good, and it's a whodunit type of thing. Mm-hmm. But it's based in Ireland, and I would put the subtitles on because they have such a strong brogue. Mm-hmm. Those Irish folk, and so it helped me understand more what was going on. So, I totally get it. You can miss some of the movie, but in this case, it was great because I could still understand them. It's like, oh, that's what they said. Okay, So I did watch it, but
get some more intel.
Anyway, but that's a great show if anybody wants to watch that.
And what did you watch?
So I watched, and I am sad to say this, I did watch Godzilla vs. Kong, but on HBO Max, and I vowed to go to a movie theater, but the opportunity presented itself, and so we watched it at home, and I have to say, the graphic special effects are unbelievable. I swear, it just seems to get better all the time. Storyline, meh, but what do you expect in a movie like this, to be honest? So I would watch it just for entertainment purposes. That's what it is. I wouldn't expect it to, win an Oscar. Maybe for special effects it would. But as far as the storyline goes, meh. Mm-hmm. I wasn't excited about it. But, I think that Hollywood did this well in the fact that in the last Godzilla movie, he was a hero.
Right.
And now in this movie, he's not. And in the beginning. And so you have, Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. She's, trying to figure out why he's not, why something's wrong with him. Meanwhile, they're bringing Kong from his home to battle. Mm-hmm. Because, Godzilla has this, he starts going crazy on him. So, anyway, But I'm really happy to say that I can still love them both. So yay! I'm so excited. Anyway, but yeah, check it out. It's worth it.
Well, what would you rate it?
Probably a 3.5 wine corks.
Okay.
Again, the special effects were incredible, but storyline, that's the only reason I would give it 3.5.
Okay.
That's me. And then I did watch a while back, and you have already watched it, but Tag. I don't know if any of you guys out there have watched it, but it is so freaking funny. It is one of those that I just blazed over. I just thought, it's probably going to be dumb. Anyway, you liked it. And so when I saw it, I was like, I have to watch this. It was funny. It was very entertaining. I enjoyed it. And then, and that's with, man, it's got an all-star cast.
Yeah.
So it's got John Hamm, and it's
Jeremy Renner,
of course.
Ed Helm.
Yep.
The Hangover.
Ed Helm, The Hangover. I love him. He's so funny.
Right.
He was the dentist.
Right.
Oh,
teeth,
man,
yeah.
I love that. Anyway, and then what's her face?
Isla Fisher?
Yes, Isla Fisher. She was good too. So, and they're all, playing this tag game that they started when they were little, and to keep connected, they take this into their, 30s, 40s, years later, and they're still playing this tag game. It was good. And then, of course, my standby, I watch a lot of ID, and which is the crime shows. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, I really got to stop watching those. But I like to figure out how many times I'm right. It's just so weird. And then also on the Travel Channel, there's a really great series called Haunting, for those of you who like the creepy stuff like me. And, man, you can even demand that one, on demand, that one. But it has so many, and it's really based on true stories. So and I'm that freak where, some of these shows with the paranormal investigators and that type of thing, they're ridiculous, right? They try to cause trouble, they try to scare up the spirits, and it's stupid. And yeah, I don't care for those. But like A Haunting, and then there's another one that I want to watch. It's based on true stories, and it is crazy, some of those stories. So if you're looking for a good scare, that's what I recommend.
And I do not, if you aren't looking for that. So who's with me and who's with her? That's fine. Now we're going to start a new series where we're going to talk about some movie trailers and just our first impressions of movies that will be coming out in theaters. Because now that spring is upon us, summer, theaters are finally showing more movies and more movies and more movies. So let's see what's to look forward to. So first up is Wrath of Man. This stars Jason Statham and Josh Hartnett. We haven't seen Josh Hartnett in a minute. I remember him from, I want to say it was 40 Days, 40 Nights.
Oh, that was the vampire flick, right?
No.
Oh, that was, what was that one?
So I just vaguely remember he was trying to, I feel like it was abstain from dating or women.
Oh, sorry.
For that time period, because he was I'm tired of being this person who can't sustain a relationship. So
That's right. That's right.
This time period.
Okay.
So, but yeah, and I know he's done other things, but it's just we really haven't seen him anything mainstream in a long time. So
well, again, I'm on the creepy thing,
right?
But there's one that's similar to that, and I forgot what it is.
And I have to say, just out of the gate, because I'm a little biased, is I honestly watch anything Jason Statham. He's one of my favorite action people. He's a secret crush of mine, so that's
And
fine.
what other movies was he in?
So Jason, he was in the Transporter movies. That's what caught my attention originally. He is a big Guy Ritchie guy, who actually is directing this movie. But so he was in that movie, The Gentleman, that Guy Ritchie did. Once it was Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels that Guy Ritchie did. He was also in Hobbs and Shaw as Shaw with Mr. Vin Diesel. And he's also in 2 other Fast and Furious movies. So,
nice.
Yeah, he also was in Parker with Jennifer Lopez, which is a little hidden gem. If you guys haven't seen that, you should check it out.
No, I've never even heard of it.
It's actually a really good show, and she plays against type, in my opinion. So you should. It's a really good little show. Anyway, so Wrath of Man. I thought this looks really good. Again, we're just basing what we're deciding on about this off the trailer, nothing else. It just looks really good. I mean, it starts off with a bang with he is, a what do we call those with the banking where they're, why am I forgetting? Oh, armored truck driver.
Armored trucks. Okay.
He's an armored truck driver. Him and his partner gets, pulled over. And he's like, I'll just take care of this. And then he starts shooting them all up. And the guy's like, is this guy crazy? Like, what's happening? And so through the trailer, you see that it's like he's on purpose trying to handle these guys and or get caught. And then, it shows that he had a son once who got killed during one of these. And so he's on a mission to find out who did it. So from what we saw. So it just looks like a really good old-fashioned, like, shoot-'em-up actioner.
Yes, it does. It looks really good. I'm in.
You're in for it too?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. And that is out May 7th. Sorry, I'm not sure if I said that, but that'll be out May 7th. So Rochelle and I will definitely be seeing that.
Yes, so you guys go see it too and go to the theaters.
Yes.
Is it? It's going to just be in theaters, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
good.
Next up is the Suicide Squad. Now, this is technically Suicide Squad 2, but they are just calling this one the Suicide Squad.
Instead of Suicide Squad,
because the first one was
the.
just Suicide Squad. So this is a whole new director with James Gunn. So this is again going to star Viola Davis, Margot Robbie, and Joel Kinnaman, and now they're joined by newbies Idris Elba and John Cena. So this looks like so much fun. When I saw the trailer, or I should just say when I heard about the movie, I was like, because the first one it wasn't the greatest to me. But when I saw the trailer, I'm like, this is so much fun. This is making it more humorous than the original was.
I agree.
So,
I just from watching the trailer,
Mm-hmm.
I really think that it would be something I'd be into as well.
Right? Yeah.
And I never saw the first Suicide Squad.
And I don't think you need to. Don't even bother.
Okay.
Don't waste your time.
All right, good.
I think, yeah.
So I'm not going to miss what's going on.
No,
hopefully,
I think
based
you'll
on that.
catch on just fine. So, yeah. So the trailer, and I think most of you would agree if you do watch the trailer, it just looks like it'll be a great, fun summer movie. So
Yeah.
This is out August 6th. So, yes, I am
There is some
advocating for
swearing
that.
in it.
Yes, it's going to be a hard R. I think the first one was only PG-13. So, yes.
Ooh,
Totally
what was
different
Wrath of
vibe.
Man? That was R, wasn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, that'll be that definitely will be an R.
Yes.
Next up is Cruella. This is with Emma Stone and the other Emma Thompson. So this is an origin story for Cruella de Vil, from the Disney 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
So this looks awesome.
I love
it took the second trailer for me to be more into it. When I first saw it, I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was a
Well,
little
when I
anti.
heard that Emma Stone was going to be Cruella, I do not see her playing that part.
Right.
I know she's pretty versatile, but I did not see her playing Cruella, and the trailer looks awesome. So
It really does.
I am definitely going to see
It
this
looks
one.
really good. Yeah. I like
Again, in theaters only, right?
No, this one
Oh,
will be
shoot.
out May 28th, and it's in theaters and Disney Plus. Although
Disney Plus.
you do have to pay the extra Disney Plus premium fee to watch it. It's not, you don't just get it with your subscription, and it's $30. So
Ugh.
if you have a lot of kiddos and it makes sense financially, of course, by all means, go ahead and pay it. But otherwise, for any single ladies out there like me, or how Rochelle comes with me, even though she's not single, it's just she's only paying for one person. So, it
Yeah.
just makes more sense to see it in theaters, but to make it more feasible. So you
Yeah.
get it on the big screen, plus you're saving money. So
Right.
There you go.
And Tuesdays, remember, are still $5 movies at most theaters.
oh, that's true.
So that would be a good, take your kids to go see it at the movie theaters on a Tuesday night. And with summer coming, kids aren't going to be in school.
Oh,
So
that's true. Right? Yeah. So see another.
let's get
instance to
these
there.
theaters back open and running.
Let's go. So lastly, is this movie coming out called Those Who Wish Me Dead. And this stars Angelina Jolie and John Bernthal from The Punisher fame. Now, also, John Bernthal is a Tay Sheridan guy. He has done Wind River with him. And also, sorry, I can't remember the other movie he's done with him. Is this Cicero? It
John-
may have been Cicero. John Bernthal. Anyway, but this looks really good. The title, unfortunately, to me is bad.
Yeah.
If I just heard the title, I've been like, no, which is what I thought until I watched the trailer. But this looks so good. So Angelina Jolie is apparently a firefighter. She stumbles upon some kid who looks like he's hurt. And then the trailer kind of just shows people are after him, and then she's trying to protect him, and then a fire is blazing at some point.
Oh, which was probably started. All
Yes.
those blazes were probably
Right.
started.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was kind of a disconnect for me when I first saw it. and, you know, have all these questions, which of course is going to be answered in the movie. But it intrigued me to the point where I would like to see it. I would,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, me too.
definitely. And I like Angelina Jolie. I really like her. I'm not happy with her and the way, you know, she's treating Brad Pitt. But maybe, you know, I don't know the whole story, but I can just see she might be kind of cranky. She was Maleficent, you know.
That's true.
So anyway, she hasn't been in anything in quite some time, it
That's
seems.
true, yeah.
So
yeah,
but
this
yeah,
will
it
look
does
good.
look good.
And this one will be out in theaters on May 15th.
Just theaters, do you know?
Yeah, so far it's just theaters.
Okay.
So anyway, so that's the trailers for this week, and we will discuss some more next week. So this is fun.
Yeah.
Look forward to what's coming out there.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Thanks so much for listening. We had a great time, as we always do, and we hope you enjoyed it as well. Please give us a review or comment, as it really does help us, and please follow us on Instagram at movies_munchies_moscato. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, guys.